Okay, so here we are at the lathe. I'm going to just face this end off in the lathe, and that way it should be nice and square. Then I can set it up on the grinder, and if it's out a tiny little bit we can adjust it. But I'm just going to check that it's heading straight down the lathe. Find this, got a dial in here, find the low spot, zero it. We can just sweep this along, and I've got less than half a tenth along there. Just check it the other way. And we'll zero it. This one's does have a bit there, so let's see if we can. That's falling, so. Something's not sitting quite right, obviously. Let's see. See, I've got almost 2 thou difference there. So I'm just gonna still do what I'll do. I'll take it over 180. Just check it here. Yep. I've just loosened that chuck off. I think it made a scrap of difference. Nope. If anything, that's getting worse. Oh, there we go. It's down to about 1 thou now. Hopefully when I tighten it back up, it goes back to 2 thou. And so there's some either a tiny bit of something in there, or I've got an inaccuracy in my forejaw. Wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, so that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. So we'll face this off. I generally use WNMG inserts, negative rake. Obviously only really good on bigger lathes. You know, you really need a positive rake insert on a smaller lathe. Otherwise you just won't have the power and rigidity to run it properly. When I'm set up there, I'll run this at 720 RPM, sounds good. Face shield. Not getting hit by chips. Turn the machine on. Shall we get rid of that centre pip? Beautiful. That'll do nicely. Oh. Turn it out. There we go. It's machined up quite well. And we can actually go over to the surface plate and actually test it off that surface and just see how good it is. Here we are back at the surface plate. I have to reset my indicator up for the height. A little bit, half a bit. Here we go. Obviously you want to try and get it use as much of the height as you can. Okay. So what I'll do, you might actually be able to see this. We'll come around here. Can we see the dial? No, too much glare. Oh, you can sort of see it there. I'll zero. I'll zero this dial. It's pretty close. Well, sorry. Okay, so it's within. That's reading 13 tenths. Oh, that's not right. It's not zeroed. Zero that again. Just the act of touching the dial affects the. There we go. Right, so that's zeroed. We got 10. Got a thou there. That's not bad. Half a tenth off the lathe. This one doesn't look as good though. No, that one's probably the side that was out. That's reading about 35 tenths. This side, it's not reading anything. So that's zeroed there. So I've got, yikes, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got about 7 thou difference. So what I might do, rather than step grinding it again, I can actually see that difference right there. Presumably this side, yep. Push it in at the bottom. So what I might do is I might clamp it up on the clamp on that way, and with some parallels going the other way, and I can actually set that side from here and zero it on my master square, clamp this on, and we should be able to grind it square in one go, because I know that this angle plate is quite square. Okay, I'm just going to use my little plate for this. I don't like doing too much sort of rough work, if you like, on the big plate. This isn't exactly rough work, but spanners and things, I tend to put them down on the plate, and it's an A-grade plate, so I don't like doing that. So come over to the little plate here. I've zeroed my. Oh, that's perfect. I zeroed my dial on my master square. If you've got a cylindrical square, you can use a cylindrical square. You can even zero it off this piece using both sides. If this was out of thou, get it to read -5 tenths on one side, +5 tenths on the other. You'll know that 0 is in the middle and it is perfectly square. Just where I've sat that, I've absolutely fluked getting that dead right. So I can simply tighten these up. I've got the square the wrong way, because that way I don't need to pack it up off the plate, but that looks good. We can tighten this up, hopefully it won't move. And as I said before, I've checked this square angle plate, and it's within a tenth. So alright, we'll just check this again. Okay, that's just moved slightly. I'm now under by about 2 tenths, so I'll get my favourite tool. I don't know if it's my favourite tool, but there's something on the plate there actually. Tiny bit of drop corn or something. Let's try again. Yep, definitely under, so just need to tap the bottom back. It was far too far. This is going to be too far, and now I can't get it to, too far back. So now I can't get it to go back the other way. There's something on the plate here. I'm not sure what it is. What do we need to do? Of course, all I've done is made the thing worse and worse, haven't I? You should never do that. Never touch an indicator on something and hit it, tap it in any way. What's appearing on my plate seems to be something slightly sticky, but not sure what it is. If there's something coming out of the granite or no, now it's close. So I had it closer when I first bolted it on than it's been since. Alright. That's within 2/10. Didn't move. Ooh. The other thing to watch is I've grabbed this in the forejaw and I've got some marks from the jaws which I haven't ground it to size yet, so it's not a problem, they'll be ground out, but make sure we don't put the indicator stylus on those marks. I still haven't moved it. Alright, I'm fighting with this here. Camera's kind of in the way actually, so I'll turn the camera off and I'll get this right, and I'll probably add a second clamp just for a bit of security. I don't want to sit this on the chuck and have the piece get pulled down onto the chuck and move. Chasing my tail here. I'll get this right. Might take a little while, and then I'll go over to the grinder. Here we are back at the grinder again. I've actually just given my table a very light stone with a hard Arkansas. The problem I noticed I was running my hand over it and I could feel grit and it wasn't going away. And in the aluminium, this has got, as usual, it'd be handy if I took this out first. My chuck has aluminium spaces. Most chucks I think I've seen otherwise have brass spaces, but it doesn't matter, it's a softer material. And pieces of grit can get embedded in the aluminium and the brass, and that's what I had down here, and that may have attributed to some of the problems I had grinding it square yesterday. As I said, I had a feeling something was not right. Anyway, I've just stoned it with a white Arkansas stone. They do a really good job. They're not going to remove any material really, but they will get rid of any little burrs or anything like that. And you always end up with scratches on your chuck, and there may be the tiniest little burrs, so good little stoning every now and then is a good idea if you're not going to regrind it, because you don't want to regrind it all the time. And there'll be no chuck left, and you don't want to have to go buying a new chuck, because a new chuck will probably cost people more than what they pay for their grinders. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and grind this off. We'll of course dress our wheel first, as always, and then set up to grind it off. And then we can go back to the surface plate and check it. Hopefully it ends up square. The other note I'll make is I actually went back to the master square and checked my DTI for the setup for square, and it was out, so I re-zeroed it, came back over, set it up, checked it again, and when I was happy that I was getting the same reading off the setup and off the master square, that's what I went with. Alright, I need some light. Oh, that's very coarse. That's very coarse. Must have had a bit of a ramp on that wheel because we just touched at the edge. Anyway, go on a moment. Before I wipe my finger, there you go. That's what it'll do. It's not going to kill you as long as you are careful. The table won't move, or the table's locked to it. Alright, put the side up. So we've got coolant in my tea. That won't be very nice. Doesn't look like it. Grinder's good, you can leave your tea on the grinder. Never had it tip yet. No, I say that, I'll spill the thing, won't I? Waste some more. I think. Okay. We don't know how square this is or isn't. On this corner. There you go. You've got to make sure, obviously, you don't set it in one corner, start feeding, and you find you 5 thou difference. All of a sudden your grinder's trying to take 5 thou off. Well, that was fun. One of the kids put something in the rabbit's house, so I had to get it out. That's interesting. Had no hydraulics there for a moment. There's been a burr I knocked off just before. I'll take another half thou. Knock my burring over there. Quite clearly it was a burr. exactly what I told you not to do. Started getting deeper as we went over that way. Okay, another half a thou. Alright, so we'll grind this flat, and I'll see you at the surface plate. Okay, you can see the ground that ended up now. I deburred everything, gave the faces a light stoning. You can just make out the marks there from the chuck just to make sure there was nothing there. Now we can go to and check this for square. So there we go, 0 it there. Just making sure we're not. Right, so we are 10. Oh no. Now that side's not right. Look at the way I'm holding the damn thing. Right, 0. Okay, so we're out by 4/10 on that direction. And I'm going to say it's exactly the same . 4/10 in that direction. Now, question is, do I worry about fixing that or not? I'm going to say no, I'm not going to worry about fixing that. I think that's close enough. The next thing to do, we'll grind it to size. Then we'll have to put it in a 4-jaw. Now I'm a bit concerned because that 4-jaw I was using obviously doesn't hold things exactly axially. I do have a second one there, so we might have to try it and see. I'll clean those jaws out and check it. If not, we have to try the other 4-jaw and see how it holds it. Hopefully one of them will hold it dead bang on down the centre of the lathe. Obviously, otherwise I'm going to need to. We can machine the spigot on the end of this that will be threaded. We can put it in the 4-jaw on some pads, and we can zero it with a fixed steady. But that'll be a lot of setup. We'll see how we go with the other. Well, this 4-jaw cleaned, and try the bigger 4-jaw and see how we go. Anyway, we'll grind this to size, and I'll see you at the lathe.